What's happening, guys? Saf-T-Liner C2 here. This is not rain, this is snow. Oh gosh, that looks so bad. Oh, if only ROR actually was a semi-decently developed game. Alright, yeah, I am on Community Map. This is a updated version of Community Map, which, as always, will be linked below. Whoa. Well, that's new over there. That was not there last time. Okay. Yeah, I came on here to do a video a couple days ago, but I didn't like the turnout of it, so because I was gonna do some whatever. I was gonna do it, but I didn't ever realize that was over there. So, yeah, I guess let's go head over there and see what that is. And I'm using Grayson's HDX, as I'm sure you could tell. So, how are you? I hope you are having a excellent day. Mine has been really slow and uneventful, but this weekend was pretty good. I had a pretty good weekend. So I mentioned in some videos, I don't know when this one's coming out, that I had the opportunity to staff a camp, and yeah, so little story time about camp. So I got a text back in September from a guy who I work with a lot. He's the one who's dragged me into some other stuff. So last year I taught some classes, or I've helped out with some events. I've told you all this stuff before, but he texted me and he's like, "Hey, I have an opportunity for you if you to come staff here. Here's a date, and you want to do it?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure, of course." So it was a Friday thing, so that means that I got to get off of work, which is good. And my boss, he's one of my I know him from Scout, so he was very lenient, and yeah, that's fine. Not too worried about that. Except for I didn't get paid, but whatever. So it's like an hour drive away, and they said be there sometime after dinner. Okay, well, dinner is different for everyone, so I'll leave 6:30 or so to get there 7:30 or 8. So I'm driving up there. I drive up there, and I get into camp and I start driving around. They said, "Oh, we're gonna be over here, blah blah blah," and I see the little staff pavilion. So I'm getting all my stuff together, and I see some of the other. They wanted youth staff. Basically, we were just there to help out with whatever, to lead a couple activities and to provide, some example, I guess. So I see the other guys, and I'm like, okay, well, I guess I'll head over there now. So I start walking over, and I meet the guy who I'd never met before. He gives me this fancy little name tag, and he's like, "Oh, you guys want some pie? Have you guys eaten dinner already? We have dinner here if you want." And I'm just like, "Dude, you said to get here after dinner. I already ate." And they had like barbecue and potato salad and like all this stuff that I totally would have ate if I wouldn't have already eaten. But so I'm like, fine, I'll grab some pie. So and they had like coconut cream pie or key lime pie or chocolate pie. I grabbed some key lime pie, ate that up, and they're like, "Oh, okay, we don't need you tonight, so just go set up camp and we'll be good." So okay, fine. So I run up to my truck and I get my stuff out and start setting up my tent. And I realized that part of the tent was broken. And yeah, so that was not good. It was like I was able to make do with it, but I'm gonna need to find something to fix it in the future. But anyway, so I'm setting up my tent, And the guy comes over and he's like, Cameron, where are you? You're supposed to be up here. And I'm just like, did you not just say that we had the rest of the night to ourselves? So we get over there and we introduce ourselves and they thank us for coming out, and we get these fancy little mugs that they, not mugs, but like tumblers, the cups, like Yetis or Igloos or stuff like that. The specific company is Arctic. So they had them all customized and everything, and it's actually pretty legit. I've been using it for the past couple days. So they thank us with that, and then they're like, okay, now you have the rest of the night. So I'm like, fine, whatever. So they say that we have to be up, or that we have to be at said locations by 7 o'clock. Breakfast was at 6, which means that I had to get up at 5:30. So it was already hard enough going to sleep because they were all up yelling and screaming and being loud. So I eventually fall asleep, and I wake up at 5:30 to that still going on, yelling and screaming and blah blah blah. So I go over there and I get some breakfast, and they're like, oh yeah, here's the copy of the newsletter for today. Now, the thing about this newsletter is they had us write like a short little biography and send in a selfie, which I'm just like, this is gonna be so dumb. So I had to come up with this, like, I don't take selfies. So whenever he specifically requested a selfie, I'm just like, fine, I'm gonna try really hard to make like a semi-decent picture. So I take like 30 different pictures, and I finally I narrow it down, and I pick one, and I write like a short little biography about myself, and I send it to the guy. And I'm looking at this newsletter. I flip to the page where it has our biographies, and everyone else, they didn't take a selfie. They had these pictures like professionally done, and I'm just like, oh my god. So I'm here standing in my kitchen taking a picture of me in my uniform while everyone else has like the American flags behind it, and these were like legit photos that you go out and buy. So I'm like, okay, well, so much for being, I thought that I would outdo everyone with my... What? Yes. Yep. That was my mom. But anyway, so then I start reading everyone else's biography because I didn't know anyone. So I'm sitting there, I'm reading, and one of the other guys, there were 3 guys who knew each other, and then there were 2 other, me and this other kid, who had no idea who they were. So one of the guys is reading, and he's like, did you really put that in there, dude? And he's like, oh, I didn't know that it was going to be published, so I just went ahead and put it in there. Let me see if I have the paper in here, because it was like, dude, really? Here it is. Okay. We're going to pull over to the side of the road here for a second. Wrong way. Here we go. Okay. Let's open this up. What page was it? Page 3, I think. Here we go. Yep. Okay. So everyone else has like their pictures all professionally done, and then there's just me. Okay. So some of these are just like I go to this high school. I'm in ROTC. I do this and that. This guy put, okay, outside of scouting, I really enjoy being a part of a year-round and summer league swimming team, building model airplanes, cars, and I really like installing ceiling fans. I kid you not. That is a word for word what he said. So I look at him, like, I read that and I'm like, dude, do you really like installing ceiling fans? And he's like, yeah, why? And I'm just like, okay. So people will often say to me whenever they first know about like my bus, enjoyment, I guess. People are like, well, that's weird, and I'm like, oh no, I've seen other people like some pretty weird stuff. Like my dad collected salt and pepper shakers, or this or that. But I think I have a new excuse to no, buses are not weird. I think I have something that finally tops it. Those being ceiling fans. So this kid literally goes on, and this kid was pretty cool. I talked to him later throughout the day, and he seemed pretty cool. But he went on for like 10 minutes about this new ceiling fan that he got, and how it works, and how the wind travels this way, and how it's supposed to cause more airflow. But like, what? Okay, so whenever people do learn about my bus stuff, well, why is it interesting to you? Well, I don't have any real specific reason. It's I guess it's like cars. Why are those interesting? Oh, well, they have a motor and wheels. Oh, okay, well, that's the same reason that I have. Or they have these lights right here, or this door right here that open, whatever. And I guess I'm just not seeing that for ceiling fan. You flip a switch, it turns on, and you have two things that hang out that you can pull to make the fan go faster, turn it off, and turn the lights on and off. Maybe I'm just missing something, but okay. So, yeah, that I'm just like, dude. Okay, so we have not been up here. Wow, I'm already liking this. Community map is going to be freaking awesome once it's done. So anyway, they sent us up to direct traffic. So they sent us all the way to the top of this hill to tell people to turn here and make a big loop and whatever. So I'm up there, and we're just talking, and people start coming in, and I see a couple people that I know, and they're all like, oh, hey, Cameron, blah, 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 whatever. And then, now they gave us like a brief schedule of what we were going to be doing that day, but it's just like, oh yeah, we're going to assign you with a group, and then you're going to be with them, and then at this time you're going to go here and do this and blah, blah, blah. And we were all just like, yeah, we don't know where this is. You didn't give us any real good directions, so good luck. Oh, they have one of these in they have something like this in Mitt City, and I think on the other side of this map also. Oh gosh. Okay, so we walk down and we start helping people unload their stuff, and then we get assigned a group. And they're announcing it at the opening ceremony. They're like, oh yeah, you're going to be with this group, and everyone else is just walking around. Oh yay, I'm with you. And I'm of course like, okay, well that's boring. So I'm like, whenever they announce my group, I'm like, yeah! And I run over and I give everyone high fives, and I'm just like, everyone's just looking at me, and I'm just like, oh god, I just made a complete idiot of myself. But I really don't care. Are those apartments? Yeah, those are apartments over there. I'm gonna guess that these are hotels. But, so I go with the group, and I introduce myself. I knew one person in the group. I worked with her at the camp I run in June. I worked with her there for a brief time. So I start dragging all their stuff down, and they seem like a pretty decent group of people. So one guy, I see this one. He had to have been in his 60s or 70s, and he's out there camping, and I applaud him for that. But, he clearly just needed help setting up his tent. So I go over there, and I'm like, hey, you need some help? And he's like, yeah, sure. So I go over there, and I start setting it up. And this thing is, like, broken. Like, so broken. And I'm just like, oh, my God. Really? I mean, like, can't you just buy a new one? And I'm like, wow, this thing is, seen its days. And he's like, yeah, it's old, but it certainly works. Okay, if you say so. So, sat around with them and talked to them for a couple hours. And then they had a presentation that they had to go to. And we get called over. All the youth gets called over. And they're like, okay, so you guys have the next hour or so. And then you'll go back and you'll eat with them. And then they'll have more presentations in the afternoon. So we go over and we find this little pavilion, and the guy who likes installing ceiling fans, he sees a plane go by, and he's like, oh, hold on, I think that's a 737, and he pulls out his phone, and he has an app full of all the planes in the U.S., I think maybe even in the world, where they are, where they're coming from, where they're going, the model plane, all that stuff, all in an app. And I'm just like, dude, we need to develop. I didn't say anything, but it's just like, why isn't the bus industry come up with anything like this? I mean, like, that'd be pretty legit for us, actual, like, for people like us. But we're all just sitting there, just like, this kid is freaking out. He saw two planes. One of them was coming from England, and the other one was coming from Japan, I think. And he's like, oh my gosh, that's a blah, 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 and I've never seen that before, and oh my gosh, and I'm sitting there just like, is this really how I am whenever I see a bus that I've never seen before? I can't imagine that's actually how I am, but, I mean, I guess it is what it is. Taco Bell, I had that for lunch yesterday. Oh, well, the entrance was right there, but, those quesaritos, those are good. And they're not new, those Cinnabon Delights, or whatever. So we go over and I eat lunch with them, and okay, y'all want to know what I order whenever I go there? Mainly just because I'm cheap. Where is it? They've got a new menu since then. Actually, no, they haven't, because this is just a different menu than what the one that I see. Where is it? Oh, they're over here. Dollar Cravings menu, because I'm cheap. We get the beefy Frito burrito. It says beefy, and then it's a burrito with burritos in it, and they're only $1. So if I get two of them, they're like $2.17, and that's a cheap lunch. So yeah, so I eat my sandwich with them, and then they're off to go do another presentation, and we go back over, and this kid is still freaking out because he sees more planes that he's never seen before, or planes that he's been on, or whatever. And then they're like, okay, well, yeah, we're ready for you guys to actually do your thing. You guys are going to lead some team building games. And basically mine was you had to get a marble from one side to another using oddly shaped PVC pipes. Like you had 45 degrees and 90 degrees. You had some that were just completely straight and had weird cuts on the end, or whatever. So I'm sitting here just like, okay, well, this is going to take 15 minutes. They're going to, maybe not figure it out for a little while. And if they do, I'll come up with something then. And literally, like, a minute passed and everyone already figured it out. I'm just like, oh my God, I didn't even think this through. If you just put that this way and that this way, then it's so simple. I'm making a fool out of myself over here. And the way I explained it, because I had no idea how to explain it, and I was like, okay, guys, are we clear? And the guy, no one says anything, and one guy just looks at me and he's like, yeah, Cameron, clear as charcoal. And I'm just like, oh my god. So I had an hour to mess with that, and then we saw a banana spider that was bigger than your computer screen, probably. Okay, maybe not that big, but it was like huge. American tourist takes own life after realizing how much he paid for food. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, we're done. Do they have Houston, Texas on there? Man eaten by teddy bear. Detroit, Michigan. Oh, there's Nishan's. Or somewhere around there. Enough said. Oh, please have. All the fails. Tulsa, Oklahoma. Man sets fire to. Okay. Dearborn, Michigan. Maybe that's closer to Nishan. Okay, no Houston on there. Oh well. Yeah, so anyway, so I'm done with my games, and we see the banana spider, and they're like, okay, 3 of the guys had to leave. So they assigned us to a different group. So I had to completely meet, a new group, and they had really good soup. I'll tell you that for dinner, but then they made us play this game. They wanted me to be involved, like the actual staff wanted me to be involved. It's the diversity game. And basically, they just ask you a bunch of questions about why diversity is good. And you think, okay, well, that can't be too hard. But then they're like, some of these questions, it's like diversity and stereotypes, and these questions, like, really make you think. Like the questions are, okay, I don't remember any of them. The one question I do remember is, what question do you not want me to ask right now? I don't know, maybe that one? But, it like really made me think about some stuff, which I guess is good, and, yeah, so. Okay, I really like this new, community map over here. It's like Penguinville and Mid-City put together. Not Mid-City. Neo. Because most of these buildings, I think, do come from Penguinville. I know the Fail Corp does. Not the moving sign and whatnot, but I know that that's one of the buildings in Mid-City. And we're already over there. Where haven't we been? Yeah, we haven't been back here, I don't think. Well, dang it. Didn't catch that. Whatever. Okay. Okay, I think we're done here. Can't think of much else to do, so yeah, I think that is pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe right down here. It's a magical red button that says you are now subscribed to Saf-T-Liner C2. Make sure you comment up here, down here, over here, or over here. I don't know where they put it down and where they put it. Make sure you also give this video a thumbs up, or the snow will be never ending. And make sure you also share this video with a friend. Show it to your mom, show it to your dad, show it to a guy on a random street. I don't care, don't get raped. So yeah, guys, that is pretty much it, and thanks for watching.